Easy peasy.
Recipeazy.
Look it up.
Look at me.
Ooh.
Welcome to Easy Peasy Recipeazy. Today we're making apple crisp and apple dumplings.
What we're going to use are apples that we picked last week at an orchard, along with other ingredients that you can find at your local grocery store. So we have Golden Delicious apples as well as Pink Lady apples, and we are going to throw in a little bit of Red Delicious as well, just to give it a variety of taste. All right, let's get started.
Now we're going to start on our crumb mixture. So we have oats, flour, cinnamon, and brown sugar that we're all going to combine into a bowl. And that's our dry ingredients, but we also have butter that we are also going to combine with the dry ingredients. So we melted a 1/4 cup of butter and add that and set that aside to cool. So first we're going to put our oats in. Pour in our flour, and we have about a 1/4 cup of flour. So we're just gonna have a cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon of salt, half a tablespoon of cinnamon, all right. So now we're going to combine the dry ingredients. Give it a good mix here. And it looks that we have a good ratio of our flour, sugar, and our oats. So once you have that incorporated, we are going to add in our butter. And when you add it in, you want to add it slowly, because you also don't want this to turn into a paste. You want to maintain the crumbly texture. Okay, so we're going to incorporate the butter in with the mixture, and we don't want this to turn into a dough or a paste. We just want to make sure we have a crumbly mixture that we can crumble on top of our apples. And once this cooks, it is so good. What the sugar and the butter will just seep down into the apples. Yep, it does smell good. Smells really good. Water. You're going to peel your apples, slice them, and core them. And you want to do nice slivers like this, thin slices that aren't too. I'm trying to get them focused here. You hold. Okay. I can focus it. There we go. So you're going to do thin slices, but not too thin. But you want to make sure that they're thin enough so when you go to eat them and bite down into your dessert, that you have thin enough slices that you can bite into, and everything has all the flavor that you can stay in. All right, so you're gonna add about a teaspoon of lemon juice, and so that will, the acidity in the lemon juice will give the apples good color, as well as bring out that flavor of them, and then make sure that they're not too tart when you're eating. Then we're going to also add cinnamon, and we're just going to do maybe about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, because we also already put some in our crumb mixture, but this is just so that the flavor is incorporated all the way through. So you're going to mix this together just so that all of the slices are coated with lemon juice, as well as cinnamon. Braided that in, we're going to pour that into our lightly greased 9x9. I don't know what this is. This is a 9x9. 8x8 dish, but you can also use a 9x9 or a 13-inch. So it depends on how much you want. Some seed left in there. We are going to add on our mixture, our crumb mixture that we prepared just a minute ago. And so what you're gonna do is just spread that evenly over the top. Turn the bowl the other way. Yep. Yummy, yummy in our tummies. So this is just going to be spread evenly to cover all the apple slices as well as possible. Okay, and making sure we clean the sides of our dish so that nothing bubbles over and we have nice presentation. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to pop this into the oven at 375 for about 30 to 40 minutes. And when we do that, you just really go by eye and your preference. After the 30-minute mark, you just want to make sure that it's browned on top and that it is cooked through and your apples are tender. All right, we're moving on to our next recipe. For our apple dumplings, we have a variety of apples. Here we have our Golden Delicious apples diced, as well as some of our Pink Lady apples diced. And let me tell you guys, these apples are super sweet.
Super
sweet.
They're really good.
They're really good, and we picked them, so we vote that apples straight from the farm picked are better than store apples. That's just what the truth is. What do you say?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is butter those 6 dishes so that once we put down our dough and we're ready, it bakes, it does not stick. So that will be buttered. And we're also going to use for our dough, crescent dough sheet. Now you can use crescent rolls or this crescent dough sheet that I've seen at the store. Typically, I must say I do use pie crust. However, we try to stay away from pie crust that has the lard, animal lard in it. We typically do anything with vegetarian or just butter. But whether you use pie crust or a dough sheet, crescent rolls or dough sheet, it's the same method. Go ahead, Zara, and show them how we cut out our circles. Now you can use a cookie cutter, but we also, for the perfect size, we like to use the bowl. So when you do this, you're just going to lay the bowl down, put a little pressure on it, and give it a little twist. Yep. And so pick it up, and you should have a circle. You're just going to pull it up. And there you are. You have a perfect-ish circle. So you're going to grab your muffin pan or cupcake pan and sit each of these circles down into your openings, and without tearing it, because you don't want too much of the nice syrup that we're going to make to seep out. So just go ahead and gently lay it into each round. All right, so we're going to do that for the rest of our 5, and we're going to come back to you. And just so you know, when we come back, we did get 2 cans, but what you can use the extra sides of your dough. So once you cut out your circle, so we'll get a good maybe 4 out of this. So what you do, you use your scraps, roll it up, and re-roll it out, and you could possibly get another good 1 out of your dough. So don't throw away your scraps, just combine it or roll it together and then re-roll it out. All right, we are going to put spoonfuls of apples into each of the dough. So you notice that we left some of the dough hanging over the muffin cup, and that is because we are going to fold over the dough over the apples, and that's how you get the dumpling effect. And also, pro tip, you notice that our apples are in water. Now we did that because we had cut them a little earlier and we did not want them to brown too fast on us, so we put cold water with our slices and then we put it in the refrigerator. And so that keeps your apples from browning too quickly, and so they look fresh, just like you just cut them. or relatively, like you just cut them, but at least they're not browned mess. So, okay, now we take a look at our apples. I think we can add a little bit more to this one here. And make sure you're not putting too much of the water in there. We don't want too much water because you don't want this, this is going to boil because we have a sauce. So what you should do also is when you get ready to bake it, make sure you put a pan underneath your muffin pan so that if there's any drippage, it does not drip into your oven. So next step, we're going to add in about a tablespoon of brown sugar into each of the cups. I would also suggest you use both of your cans. If you're going to use the crescent roll method, use both of your cans of dough so that you have enough dough for coverage. This one here we have plenty, and I think that's going to be really good. This one here we have plenty. So either you just really roll it out really well so you have enough extra dough to make sure that you have enough for coverage later. Next, we're going to add in our cinnamon, and we're going to do, let's say, half a teaspoon or so. Yep, perfect. Not too much because we don't want to be too overly cinnamony, too overly cinnamony, but just enough to give it that nice spice. So now we're gonna add a half a tablespoon of butter to each one of the pots, and you just sit it right on top. This part we are now covering with the excess dough, the tops of our dumplings. And as you see, it's just a fold, squeeze in, ripple method. You really do it how you please. You just want to make sure that there aren't many holes showing. If there are any holes, only on top. If there are any holes in the dough on the bottom, you would need to, before you fill it, take it out and re-roll it, because that is going to let the nice juices escape. So perfect, Zara. These look good. Perfect. I love the twist effect. Technique. That's what that is. So these are just gonna be so lovely. Oh, we have a little breakage there on the side. Uh-oh, it's okay. It's okay. There's one thing, once you fill it and there is a breakage, if you try to fix it, I will tell you this, you will have more issues than you were anticipating. So you just kind of chalk that up to the game and just, let that be the one you have as the chef, and then give your guests the perfect ones.
It smells so good. The ice cream, I just want to eat it so much. I can feel like the heat under the plate, but also the coldness, like from the ice cream. But I just want to eat it so bad.
Bring it to the white a little. We have our taste tester. That's gonna try it out. Get you a little ice cream there.
It's really, really good.
How can you describe the taste a little bit to me?
I don't know how, but it kind of tastes like sweet and salty for some reason.
Probably because we added a little bit of salt to our crumbly mix. But does that take away from it or add to it?
It adds.
Awesome. So there we have it. We have our apple crumb, and it is a hit. Mmm.
It looks really good. About to get a piece.
That's that caramel, making it hard to pick up.
Mmm! It's really good. I can taste like the roll, like the crescent roll, but it's so sweet, but not too sweet. But I really like the apple and the cinnamon, and it goes so good together, and the butter is just amazing. So you guys should definitely try it.
These look delish. Well, can't wait to dig in. So here you are, guys. You have the apple dumplings that you can eat with ice cream as a dessert. You have your apple crumb as also a dessert option. And these are good for any fall occasion or for Thanksgiving that's coming up. All right. Thank you.
Bye.